It's clear to you that de-icing the wings will not be done in a jiffy. You look for phone outlets but see none, only photos of phone outlets. A voice announces your gate is now 39C, 12B, 9A. It's like musical chairs, if musical chairs made you sob in the pet relief area. A child picking his nose stares. His parents have abandoned him. The airport will raise him now.
Don't let flight delays ruin your vacation. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing.
McKenzie's job to wrap up the U.S. troop withdrawal. That's expected to happen by the end of August. I'm Brian Shook.
The World Health Organization says the COVID Delta variant is ripping around the world at a scorching pace. The chief scientist points out people who are fully vaccinated are still getting infected. But the good news is most of those cases are mild or have no symptoms. She says that's because the vaccine is protecting against severe illness and death. But in places with low vaccination rates and high Delta cases, hospitalizations are on the rise. And more families are getting closure in the Florida condo collapse. 4 victims were recovered yesterday, raising the death toll to 94. That leaves 22 people still missing. Crews beginning their 20th day of searching. They expect to be done in 2 to 3 weeks. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, and even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Home Advisor. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 32 Jefferson Street, Noonan. The best fried chicken around. Try taters, calling desserts. Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. 770-253-7061. The best chicken around, Wishbone Fried Chicken in downtown Noonan.
It's the penultimate week of baseball at Golden Park. It starts up on Wednesday. The Sun Belt League All-Star Game will be held right here in Columbus. The Sun Belt Baseball League All-Stars against the Florida Collegiate Summer League All-Stars. See the best of what these leagues have to offer right here in your own backyard. Then this weekend, the Atlanta Crackers are in town. Friday night, see a professional wrestling show before the game at 7:05. And Saturday is Phil the Nest night at 6:05. We'll see you at Golden Park this weekend.
The biggest schools.
Grabs in traffic, comes down with a touchdown.
Touchdown, Alabama.
Ohio State. Oregon. LSU.
The biggest moments.
Incomplete. You cannot hit the line. Michigan. Game over. Touchdown, Gators. How much?
This is the College Football Rewind.
That had to be a great game to watch. I'll tell you, unbelievable.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
You've been around long enough to know good stuff when you hear it. That's why you're here now. Classic Hits, WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key.
What's going on, my friends? It's time for some sports. What's up, sports nuts? It is now just about 7 minutes past the hour. Current conditions are about 70 degrees in the metro Atlanta area with some rain in the forecast. We'll run up your weather forecast up the pole and see what it is. Also, the lightning took to the water. The lightning struck the water in Tampa Bay. No, that's not a weather forecast. Also coming up within the hour, we're going to get you ready for tomorrow's big game. It's the All-Star game between Florida and Georgia. It's going to be featured right here on the JC Sports Networks and all over the network as Zach D and Scott Brand will be bringing you all the exciting action of, hold on, Florida versus Georgia in the All-Star game. You heard that just a few moments ago. The Chatahoots are back in action on Friday night and Saturday against the Atlanta Crackers. Also, besides that, they'll have a wrestling match and a couple of wrestling matches, and the wrestling ring is going to be set up near the third base. So you need to get to Golden Park early this week. It's going to be a great weekend. Plus, the All-Star game, I think it's tonight for the American League and the National League. So we'll have all that, get you ready for what scores are coming up, get you ready for that game and everything. A little today in history notes. Currently 70 degrees, high near 86 today with low near 69, 60% chance of showers in the metro Atlanta area. We also have your sports update from our friends at NBC Sports. We'll get you some sports extras and tell you what happened on Raw last night. WWE Raw leading into Money in the Bank this Sunday with the big Money in the Bank pay-per-view and getting ready for NXT title match tonight between Johnny and the Cross Man. That's right. We'll talk more about that in just a few. Well, back-to-back championships for the city of Tampa Bay are looking good. On Monday, there was a boat parade through the city of Tampa to celebrate the Stanley Cup champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning, that struck the water. It kicked off at 11 a.m., ended around 2 p.m. as fans stood by the Tampa Riverwalk to congratulate another championship team in, quote, Tampa Bay. Sounds good. The Pittsburgh Pirates picked a Louisville catcher, Henry Davis, with the number 1 overall pick in the Major League Baseball 2020 amateur draft on Sunday. Major League Baseball's Commissioner Robert Manfred announced the draft picks from the different areas and let the fans know. Of course, there was a few fans there for this event. At first, the 21-year-old Davis, who became the second catcher to take the first overall pick in the past 3 years, is also praised as one of the top-shelved arm strength players in the college league. And he's going to be heading to the majors with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ooh, the Pirates. Well, the NBA playoffs will resume tomorrow night, they say. Suns versus the Bucks, Game 4, as Phoenix leads 2-1 in that series. The Orlando Magic have now hired a Dallas Maverick assistant, Jamal Mosley, to become the next head coach, ladies and gentlemen. Mosley agreed to a 4-year contract with the Orlando Magic. The Magic later confirmed an agreement, but did not tell us or disclose any of the financial details of Coach Mosley's contract. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 4 people were arrested after a housekeeper topped off. You know, today is the Major League Baseball's All-Star game between the American League and the National League. And 4 people were arrested after a housekeeper, tipped off authorities that there were more than a dozen weapons and 1,000 rounds of ammunition at a hotel room in Denver. It was, and this is not fake news. I know people want to hear fake news because they want to defend whatever they want to defend. I don't know, but this is a real news story. Why anybody would take guns to a baseball game makes no sense. They were there for the All-Star game, by the way. It was found at the Melvin Hotel near the Coors Field, which is set to host the Major League Baseball All-Star game tonight. The suspects were identified as a 42-year-old Richard Platt and a Gabriel Rodriguez, 48. They're under investigation. 2 others also investigated in possession of weapons, Ricardo Rodriguez, 64, and 43-year-old Keo Sakiro. Those 4 people are being investigated as we speak. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world of sports from the NBC Sports Update. Here's your update.
New York Mets slugger Pete Alonso defended his crown. He hit 23 home runs in the final round to beat Orioles slugger Trey Mancini to claim back-to-back home run derby titles after winning in 2019. Here's Alonso after the win.
Being able to showcase that and really put on a fun display for fans, I just think that it's truly a dream come true for me.
Alonso hit a whopping 35 home runs in the opening round and dispatched of Kansas City's Salvador Perez. In the second round, he worked his way past Washington's Juan Soto, who had beaten the Angels' Shohei Ohtani in the first round swing-off. The U.S. Olympic men's basketball team has lost back-to-back exhibition games for the first time since pros joined the roster in 1992. Australia upset the Americans 91-83 Monday in Las Vegas to get the team off to an 0-2 start. They lost to Nigeria over the weekend. That's sports. I'm Seth Everett.
Thank you, Seth, for that update right there. What's going on? Well, the Major League Baseball, what's on the mound today? Sponsored by the Columbus Shadowhoots, are back on the mound Friday against the Atlanta Crackers with a wrestling match starting it all off. And Saturday, it's going to be a great night of action there at the park. They're bringing you a look at what's on the mound as the American League All-Stars will take on the National League All-Stars 7:30 p.m. I believe all this will begin. That's first pitch. Everything, pre-games and stuff will begin around 7 o'clock or more on Fox. This is where it usually is Fox, so check it out. And we'll keep you abreast of what's going on tomorrow. And the All-Star game between Georgia and Florida will be tomorrow night right here, featured on the network. It'll have Georgia and Florida as Georgia plays host kind of Florida at the one, the only Golden Park in Metro Columbus, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Valley's very favorite place for baseball. Yes, hosting the All-Star game this year is going to be fantastic in the league. Next year, they'll probably be somewhere in Florida. But the first year, the Chattahoochees are officially a team and in the Sun Belt. Their home field gets to be home field advantage for Georgia baseball players. Yeah, we'll see. And five members. And we'll talk about that coming up in just a few moments, including a head coach of the Chattahoochees will be a part of the All-Star game this coming up Wednesday night. Let's hear more about that from our friend Zach D.
It's the penultimate week of baseball at Golden Park. It starts up on Wednesday. The Sun Belt League All-Star game will be held right here in Columbus. The Sun Belt Baseball League All-Stars against the Florida Collegiate Summer League All-Stars. See the best of what these leagues have to offer right here in your own backyard. Then this weekend, the Atlanta Crackers are in town. Friday night, see a professional wrestling show before the game at 7:05. And Saturday is Fill the Nest night at 6:05. We'll see you at Golden Park this weekend.
So we will definitely see you at Golden Park. Go to GoHoots.com to get additional information on how you can get tickets to see this game or these games for the weekend. In Major League Soccer, soccer team CF Montreal traded Eric Herdito, to the Columbus Crew because of the forward's resistance to get the vaccination, and it created a problem situation with that team, so they decided to trade him off. The team announced the trade on Thursday of last week. Well, we're going to talk about it here in just a few moments. 2 victims in a bed of a pickup truck, as well as a golfer who's being laid to rest recently, were kind of victims of a crazed man. The 2 victims in a bed of a pickup truck had been bound and gagged before they were placed there. Georgia authorities said Thursday that they arrested Brian Roden of Chamblee, Georgia, on charges of killing a pro golfer, Gene Siller, 46 years old, of Cumberland, Georgia. Also, Henry Waller, of 46 of California, and Paul Pearson, 76 of Kansas, which it was the truck that he had jacked from Paul and took on July 3rd. And, of course, kidnapped these 2 people and tied them up, put them in the back, and went after this golfer. I don't know if he was so serious about this golf. I mean, here's what I don't understand. And I know this is a lot of sports. Here we go. You know, when you start to get the truth out, you start hearing people having the heart attacks out there. You're like, oh, no, we're going to have a heart attack. He's going to tell the truth. Oh, we can't live our fake little lives. Anyway, they're going to lay to rest Gene Siller here in the next day or so. But, people can take stuff way too serious. You know what I'm saying? Your life does not depend on who wins in a golf tournament unless you are out here betting all your hard-earned money on these things and you lose. Well, if you're a gambler and you're doing that, you know, they still haven't come up why this Brian Rode went rogue and went after these people. We still don't know why this man from Chamblee, Georgia, went crazy, kidnapped these two people, drove onto this golf course, killing this professional golfer, and they still don't have any rhyme or reason behind it. The only rhyme or reason you have behind anything that anybody does is they're crazy, okay? And I know that some people, oh, you can't say that. That offends people in this year, in 2021. Well, we can't say crazy, but we can offend in all kind of different ways, right? We can get all offended if somebody says something that's true, you know, but we can't get all offended if somebody says something that's make-believing in your imagination, you know. We're still, as when I was a kid, we used to call it playing pretend. Let's pretend like we're going to fly around here and use the master viewer as a flying machine for He-Man, since we don't have the flying machines. You know, let's pretend like G.I. Joe is going to stop Cobra because they always win. Let's pretend, you know. That's how kids used to do. Now we're pretending in 2021 about a lot of things. And we're going to keep all these families in our thoughts and our prayers, because even though this is a sports portion of the show, this right here is a major part of what happened in sports. A lot of negative things are happening, and it is affecting sports in a major way. And the All-Star game that's in Coors Field tonight in Denver was supposed to be in Atlanta tonight, but due to political reasons, they decided to move it to Colorado. Also, you know, so many people taking the vaccination, and now you're hearing that the vaccinations are not 100%, that people are still getting the virus even though they have the vaccinations. They're doing, and I'm not blaming, and look, I'm not going to get into, at least this hour, anything on the government, and I'm not going to blame them whatsoever. They're doing the best they can on this, I understand. But what I want to get back to is the victims here in the bed of this truck. I want to know what was wrong with this man. He needs to tell the truth. What was he mad about? Was he just trying to get back at people? I mean, because it seems like in 2021, when you just lose everything and you don't have everything, or you feel like you lose everything, it seems like instead of building yourself back up from the ground up, people seem to want to go out and get victimized other people. And we're going to keep these two people in our thoughts and our prayers for sure. Coming up, we got some more sports for you. I know it seemed like, wow, was that sports? Yeah, it was. We're going to have some more sports for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk Formula E racing. Also, we're going to dive into the ESPY Awards from over the weekend. Who won the best whatever? And a former University of Kansas player has been offered an opportunity to keep his mouth shut. What? Here's some more victimized and victims coming on. We'll tell you what's happened. All that plus, we'll get you ready for the Sun Belt. What happened last night in the Sun Belt? No Chattahoochee baseball, but other baseball. And we're going to get you the 5 players that are going to be a part of this All-Star game on Wednesday night. Back momentarily with some more sports.
Summertime weather pattern will hold in place for many parts of the country through midweek. The active pattern of primarily afternoon and evening intense thunderstorms will continue for a good part of the Northeast, across Florida, and across the northern plains and the upper Midwest. New York and southern New England will again see multiple rounds of heavy thunderstorms and flooding, a continued concern for that part of the nation. The Southwest will see monsoon-like downpours today across the Four Corners region, as well as into southern Arizona and southern New Mexico. Many areas in the Southwest will see slow-moving storms that can lead to flash flooding for canyons and across burn scars. The intense heat in the southwest starting to show some signs of abating. Still, though, above average temperatures will be found today in California and the Great Basin. That's your national weather forecast. Mike Ellis, NBC News Radio.
This is the College Football Rewind.
Give it six. The kick is good. And the Longhorns win.
This is what big-time college football is all about.
Taking you beyond the box scores to relive the emotions from the Saturday that was in college football.
Got it. Touchdown, Penn State. Right pylon. Touchdown, Washington.
It's the College Football Rewind.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson paid for by the Sentinel Group. This is an important message for anyone diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers. A California jury recently found Monsanto's weed killer caused a groundkeeper's cancer and issued a verdict for $78 million. More evidence found that Monsanto, the manufacturer of Roundup, may have known that Roundup and other weed killers were likely linked to organ damage and cancer. This information was hidden from the public as proprietary trade secret since 1981, and Monsanto may have failed to adequately warn about the potential risk of cancer. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Sentinel Group now. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Don't fight it alone. 1-800-619-8064. 1-800-619-8064. That's 1-800-619-8064. 1-800-619-8064.
I can do this.
We believe in you.
Each day brings hope.
Every day, millions of people celebrate their recovery from addiction and mental illness while others begin their journey. Be a part of it. Tell your story. Join the Voices for Recovery. Together, we are stronger. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental or substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Welcome back into the JC Sports Network News Hour, sponsored by the Columbus Chatahoochee and the Columbus River Dragons. We're going to talk about Sunbelt sports here in just a few moments. That's right. What's up, sports nuts? You know there's a NASCAR driver driving down the street. Vroom! That's what they do. Yeah, you got to lead it right in perfectly with the NASCAR theme song in the background. Thank you very much. At least it went perfect this morning. All right, coming up, we'll talk about that. Plus, we'll have a wrestling wrap-up and one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, who was one of Hulk Hogan's competitors at one of the WrestleManias, had passed away. A former television champion, tag team champion, him known as Mr. Wonderful, has passed away. We'll talk about that coming up this morning right here on the JC Sports Network News Hour. Plus, we got you a little, sports extras. But first, let's jump right back into it. Yeah, NASCAR theme song, people speeding by. Formula E is already a unique style of racing. It leads right into it. Perfect, right? Right? The backdrop that is always chosen for those tracks make it even more. The latest track for rounds 10 and 11, and for July 10th and 11th, were in New York City as a backdrop, and the busy New York side streets was a street race track. Wow. It was held July 10th and 11th, and also coming up July 21st, the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal will also host the next race for the Formula E. Wow. Unique races. So, street race is like, how come they're going to get to go street race weekend? Because it's been legally done. They play for it and this, that, and the other. It's not underground, illegal stuff. I know. Some people are just like, I'm going to do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I can be illegal. If the government can I? All right. Let's get back to what happened in the ESPY Awards over the weekend. It was a great weekend and a lot of athletes winning awards. Tom Brady was one of the top players to win an award. Quarterback Tom Brady and his NFL team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, were honored with Best Athlete in Male Sports and Best Team at the ESPY Awards. Also, Brady scored the prize for Best NFL Player on Saturday night in New York City. Naomi Osaka was Best Female Athlete. Also, it looked like The belt championship performance went to Miss Biles. That's right. Simone Biles. She's a gymnast. Stephen Curry got best NBA player. The Los Angeles Dodgers winning the World Series got best championship performance. And there was several other gave away too, but the best WWE moment was Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's title against Bianca Belair in the main event of WrestleMania as the first black women to main event WrestleMania, and they got that award. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to everyone who won awards over the weekend at the Epsi Awards. Not the Pepsi, but the Epsi. You're like, what? Not the Pepsi Awards, Ryan? I thought the Pepsi Awards would be good. Yep, the Pepsi Awards. That's going to be giving away the best diet Pepsi. I know. All right, other things going on in the world of sports. The home run derby was a hit. That's right. New York Mets slugger Pete Alonso beat out the Baltimore Orioles player in the 2021 Home Run Derby final Monday night at Coors Field to claim the second straight Derby title for himself. Alonso became the first third back-to-back Home Run Derby champion in Major League Baseball history, right behind Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. in 1998 to 1991, and another former Mets player as well. He's two-time Derby crown occurred over 3 seasons after the 2020 event was canceled due to the COVID-19. Of course, needing 6 home runs in 1 minute to win in the final, the 26-year-old hit 6 bombs on 6 swings over 28 seconds straight, 22 long balls that he hit. He said, "I'm the best power hitter on the planet," proclaimed after the win. Being able to showcase that and put on a fun display for the fans is a true dream come true for me. Well, it is the American League against the National League tonight. 7:30 p.m. is the first pitch. And before that, it'll be around 7 o'clock. Pre-game festivities on Fox for the All-Star Game. And we're having another All-Star Game going on, and we're going to talk about that coming up tomorrow night, and you can hear it all over the network here. You're going to be like, really? All over the network? Yeah, all over the network. As the Georgia takes on Florida, as it's going to be a great weekend of sports. The All-Star Game is tomorrow and tonight. So we got the American League and National League tomorrow, Georgia and Florida. It's just going to be a great week of baseball. And coming up later this week, some wrestling invited into the fold on Friday night at Columbus's Golden Park in Columbus, Georgia, as the Atlanta Crackers come in for a 2-game series this weekend against our Columbus Chatahoochee. They're on a hot roll, and hopefully they keep that hot roll going. We'll tell you up, Gwinnett shattering the Sunbelt records in a blowout win, and a few other games that happened last night were some makeup games in the Sunbelt. We'll get you some local scores, plus a former Kansas City player has been offered some hush money. What? Some hush money. We'll talk about that hush money coming up right after this short break. You're on the JC Sports Network News Hour, sponsored by the Columbus River Dragons and the Columbus Chatahoochee, the Sunbelt champions, and will be the Sunbelt champions, and the Unite Sports Cup champions. All that's coming up for you right here on the JC Sports Network News Hour. And right now, we'll take a look at a short news brief from NBC News on the JC Sports Network News Hour.
NBC News Radio, I'm Mark Mayfield. President Biden says the U.S. stands with the people of Cuba after protests broke out in the streets over the weekend.
The Cuban people demanding their freedom from an authoritarian regime.
Speaking at the White House, Biden called the protests remarkable. He called on the government to refrain from violence in their attempt to silence the voices of the people of Cuba. Texas Democrats are planning to stay in D.C. until a special session ends on August the 6th. More than 50 of them walked out and flew to the nation's capital last night. They left so the State House wouldn't have enough members to continue when it reconvenes this morning. The Democrats want to stop Republicans from trying to pass a controversial election bill. Governor Greg Abbott says the move inflicts harm on every voter who elected them. The Pentagon's top spokesperson says the Taliban believe they can win the war in Afghanistan militarily. Brian Shook reports.
At Monday's briefing, John Kirby said it's clear the Taliban is planning to govern on a national scale. He made the remarks on the same day General Scott Miller handed over command in Afghanistan to General Frank McKenzie. It will be McKenzie's job to wrap up the U.S. troop withdrawal. That's expected to happen by the end of August. I'm Brian Shook.
The World Health Organization says the COVID Delta variant is ripping around the world at a scorching pace. The chief scientist points out people who are fully vaccinated are still getting infected. But the good news is most of those cases are mild or have no symptoms. She says that's because the vaccine is protecting against severe illness and death. But in places with low vaccination rates and high Delta cases, hospitalizations are on the rise. And more families are getting closure in the Florida condo collapse. 4 victims were recovered yesterday, raising the death toll to 94. That leaves 22 people still missing. Crews beginning their 20th day of searching. They expect to be done in 2 to 3 weeks. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Hey, you should move over. Red right return.
Right, red right return.
No, just red right return because
No, I'm saying red right return, but then right to agree.
Okay, but you're on the...
I should have said correct. I know it's red right return, but...
You're on the left and it's red right return. Red right return.
The tides can turn quick on the water. Progressive has you covered as a leader in boat insurance. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
Oh, I was on the left. Right.
Please stop talking.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Your favorite event is back. JCPenney's Mystery Sale. The best deals will be revealed this Thursday to Sunday. You could get an extra 30, 40, or even 50% off Peel and Reveal coupon during our in-store giveaway. Or shop jcp.com and get an extra 30% off coupon. It's the perfect time to save on what you need for back to school. So what are you waiting for? Hurry to find out how much you'll save. JCPenney. Offers valid 8/6 to 8/9. Giveaway in-store only while supplies last. Must be 18 or older. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's the penultimate week of baseball at Golden Park. It starts up on Wednesday. The Sun Belt League All-Star Game will be held right here in Columbus. The Sun Belt Baseball League All-Stars against the Florida Collegiate Summer League All-Stars. See the best of what these leagues have to offer right here in your own backyard. Then this weekend, the Atlanta Crackers are in town. Friday night, see a professional wrestling show before the game at 7:05. And Saturday is Phil the Nest night at 6:05. We'll see you at Golden Park this weekend.
Wishbone Fried Chicken, 32 Jefferson Street, Noonan. The best fried chicken around. Tri-Taters, calling desserts. Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. 770-253-7061. The best chicken around, Wishbone Fried Chicken in downtown Noonan.
Welcome back into the JC Sports Network News Hour. I'm Ryan O'Neill, and the News Hour is sponsored by the Columbus River Dragons, the Unite Sports Cup champions, and the Columbus Chattahoots, who've got 4 Chattahoots named to the SBA All-Star, and Smith as assistant coach. Yes, that's coming up for you right now. Time to take a look at what happened in the Sun Belt last night. But first, we're getting ready for the All-Star game tomorrow night, as the Columbus Chattahoots have picked 5 players and a coach named for the SBA All-Star squad, set to take on the FSL All-Stars this coming up Wednesday, July 14th, over at Golden Park. You just heard Zach talking about it a few minutes ago. In Columbus. First baseman Henry Daniels, shortstop Jesse Donahue, left fielder and first baseman Cameron Gray, right-hand pitcher, Trent Hodges, and center fielder, the man himself, Zach Rice, were all named to a 30-man roster by the league. 3 players were named but were unable to participate. Jesse Donahue has been a force at the plate consistently all season. He co-hits the SBL's RBIs with 13 and is second in total runs controlled with 12. He also finds himself in the top 5 average
with 370 hits, 20 doubles, 6, and slugging at .537. Henry Daniels now, on the other hand, has brought good power into the Hoots lineup this year. Just 6 games into the season, Daniels had two home runs and several RBIs to set the early pace atop of the league board. And he's also a top 10 slugger with a percentage of .462. Put Cameron Gray anywhere in the field and he'll produce. Not only has he taken away 2 home runs playing left field this season, but he has also been able to stay steady at first base as a great defensive and also an all-star batter. That's right. He's among some of the other ones right there. He is number 4 on base percentages. For the first time pitching at college level hitters, Trent Hodgson has showed his incredible talent this season. Trent was on the mound. He's 22.2 innings, already putting him as one of the most used pitchers in the SPL, but then throws 41 strikeouts, first in the SPL, and 10th in the SPL, first in the SPL, and then coming in 10th as well. This man is going to be the man. Last but not least, but Golden Park's big center fielder, Zach Rice. Rice is speedy in the field on the base pads with 6 steals and 7 attempts and has leadoff power for the Hoots in a lineup against 2 home runs. And, of course, showed that this past weekend with a doubleheader against the Gwinnett Astros. And, of course, Steve Smith has been named as the coaching staff of the Sun Belt League, and he will be managed at the top from Brookhaven's Corey Patterson is the main manager. He'll be the assistant manager. The SBL All-Stars will take on the FCSL All-Stars at Golden Park this Wednesday at 7:05, and you can, of course, get those tickets at gohoots.com/tickets at gohoots.com to get tickets there as well. And we're going to have all of the games. The game will be broadcast and made available on the Chattahoochee YouTube page as well as the radio networks throughout West Georgia and East Alabama. And that includes us, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. And you can go to gohoots.com and get the full squad from all members of all teams. And let's talk about some of the other games that's going on in the Sun Belt League. Despite a slow start, Gwinnett Astros 11-9 broke multiple Sun Belt records with their breathtaking 21-6 victory over the Marietta Patriots, who are 3-15 on the season. With 21 runs, Gwinnett set a new league record for the most runs scored by a team in a single game. The previous record was set by the Douglasville Bulls in 2020 with 20-2. Victory over the Rockdale Roadrunners on July 9th, 2011. Those teams no longer exist. Both games are only time teams have scored 20 points or more in the league history. Marietta did come right out hot at the beginning of the game, but knocking a single and would immediately followed by William Lowbrook from Harvard University, launching a pitch 20 feet past the left field. But anyway, the Gwinnett Astros came back. Boom! It was that way. Both teams will take a short break midweek for the All-Star game, June 14th at Golden Park, of course, and be back on the road on Friday. Astros will take on the Brookhaven Bucks, while the Patriots will travel to Gainesville to take on those Braves, the Gainesville Braves. And some of the other games that happened last night, makeup games. The Alpharetta Aviators, 12-5, used their 8th run rally in the 8th inning to win 11-6 over the Atlanta Crackers, 12-8, Monday night at Fred Stillwater Stadium. With the win, Alpharetta moves right past Atlanta in first place in the Sun Belt, and the Aviators' 7th straight victory and their 12th of the season, which shatters their previous organization record of 11 in 2019 and 2012 for the Aviators. Well, of course, going on to the Aviators will return to action today at 6:05 to finish their June 30th game against Gainesville Braves that was suspended due to rain. They are currently leading 1-0. That game is tonight. And the Crackers are off July 16th and will travel to Golden Park this Friday night to take on our Chattahoochee. Wow. And some other notes in the major leagues. Braves select a Major League Baseball. What? Huh? What's going on? In Lawrenceville, Gainesville Braves outfielder Reed Trimble was selected by the Baltimore Orioles with the number 65 pick in the competitive bounce round B of the 2021 MLB draft. Congratulations to Reed there. He is the highest overall pick from the Sun Belt League and was picked 16 overall in the first round for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The last guy that was done that was Tuiki Toussaint. The Sun Belt League is proud of Reed Trimble getting the chance to fulfill his dream to be in the Major League Baseball player. The Sun Belt Commissioner Todd Pratt said, "It just comes to show you that the talent that we are bringing here in the Sun Belt continues to grow." Trimble played 5 games for the Gainesville Braves this season and played a crucial role in Gainesville turning around the 0-6 start. And, of course, the center fielder from Southern Miss batted about .313, 5-16 with 2 doubles, a triple, and an RBI, and drew 5 walks. Congratulations to Reed Trimble of the Gainesville Braves, moving on to the Baltimore Orioles as number 65 pick overall in the 2021 Major League Baseball draft picks. Wow. That's some of the stuff that's going on in the Sun Belt. We'll have more Sun Belt stuff for you tomorrow as well, and getting ready for the All-Star game between Florida and Georgia. Can't wait for this. It's going to be a big game. Coach Steve Smith's going to be assistant coach. It is a fantastic weekend of baseball. Go Georgia tomorrow. Go Georgia. You're going to take it. Currently 69 degrees now in the metro Atlanta area. That's a look at what's going on around the league. Sponsored by our friends at the Columbus River Dragons and those Columbus Shadows. Back in action this Friday night. Wrestling on Friday night. A 2-game series with the Atlanta Crackers, who've been knocked out of the number 1 spot by the Gainesville Braves. Oh, yeah. It's getting hot and heated for summer baseball in the Sun Belt. We've got the All-Star game tomorrow night, and the Chattanooga's going to come back. We're going to go. I know we're going to be there. Back in just a few moments. We got some wrestling wrap-up for you. We're going to dedicate the morning to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. We'll tell you what happened as he passed away, and we'll give you what happened on Raw last night and get ready for NXT tonight. Back after this with wrestling wrap-up on the JC Sports Network News Hour.
If you're interested in becoming an affiliate or becoming part of the JC Sports team, please contact us for more information. jcsportshome@gmail.com. jcsportshome@gmail.com.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It's the penultimate week of baseball at Golden Park. It starts up on Wednesday. The Sun Belt League All-Star game will be held right here in Columbus. The Sun Belt Baseball League All-Stars against the Florida Collegiate Summer League All-Stars. See the best of what these leagues have to offer right here in your own backyard. Then this weekend, the Atlanta Crackers are in town. Friday night, see a professional wrestling show before the game at 7:05. And Saturday is Phil the Nest night at 6:05. We'll see you at Golden Park this weekend.
Welcome back into the JC Sports Network News Hour. You know what? It's sponsored by the friends, our corporate tag team partners, the Columbus River Dragons and the Columbus Chattanoogas. Tagging me in here. Thank you, Scott, for tagging me in as we get ready for some wrestling wrap-up for you. And then we'll have our final sports extra here in just a few moments. Well, what happened on Raw last night? Well, the almighty Bobby Lashley destroyed the VIP lounge and promised that he would destroy Kofi Kingston's career this Sunday at Money in the Bank. Xavier Woods defeated Bobby Lashley in the first match of the night. Alexa Bliss invited Eva Marie and Doudrop to Alexa's Playground, I guess setting them up. Drew McIntyre on the big screen destroys Jinder Mahal's motorcycle. And the two former 3B guys are getting at it and having a feud like no other. Both of them former WWE champions. Nikki Ash defeats Alexa Bliss at Asuka and Naomi in a fatal four-way match heading into Money in the Bank. Also, Ivar defeats AJ Styles and Omos defeats Eric, and the tag team titles are going to be on the line between the Viking Raiders going against AJ Styles and Omos. Also, Sheamus returns to defend his U.S. title, and the crowd loved him. Ricochet defeated John Morrison in a Falls Count Anywhere match, including Bro coming out to invade in that match. Rhea Ripley defeated Natalya. And coming up tonight, NXT is going to have their aftermath of Bash at the Beach, or the Great American Bash, I should say. The Great American Bash. And Killer Cross will take on Johnny Gargano as he defends the NXT title against him tonight, and a few other matches on tap. And what will the $1 Million Champion L.A. Knight have to say? Well, you just never know. And that's what's going on. And once again, congratulations. The best WWE moment of the year at the ESPY Awards for Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, first black women to main event WrestleMania. Yes. Great life going on for WWE. And we'll talk about AEW, but one sad note this morning. A legendary WCW, WWE, AEW star, the legendary Hall of Famer, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, has passed away at age 71. He was dealing with some health issues in recent years, including cancer and dementia. His son, Travis, took to Instagram yesterday afternoon. Mr. Wonderful began his pro wrestling career back in 1976. He started with the WWE, WCW, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Mid-South, NWA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and many other promotions. I remember him as the former WCW television champion, one of the greatest titles. I wish the NWA WCW TV title would be defended on the national level. I think in dedication to him, I wish they would bring the television champion from the NWA to AEW sometime in the next couple of weeks to dedicate it to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, one of the greatest of all times. And he was in one of the first WrestleManias against Hulk Hogan and the WWE. We'll give him our thoughts and our prayers in a moment of silence right quick. That was for Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. All right, let's got some sports extras for you right here. One sports extra, man. Payoff, 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 payoff. You know, we were talking about the NCAA trying to keep these rules where the college kids are making money and getting paid off for their likenesses and everything. Here's a different kind of payoff. A former University of Kansas player with the University of Kansas football team says he was offered $50,000 in benefits if he left the program and stayed quiet about harassment that he experienced from 4 other players. Caperton Humphreys told the Kansas City Star that he received little help from the University of Kansas after he was treated kind of badly with some threats and harassment from his teammates. Humphrey said that the school offered to pay him his tuition and his monthly staple of $1,200, I should say, over a little bit over $1,200, if he would stay quiet. And they let him take his Kansas City classes from his home in West Virginia. So you just go home, take your classes. We'll pay your we'll pay your tuition and your monthly bill that you get. We'll still give you all that. Just don't talk about it. This happened around the time that Les Miles is the coach. I think he's still the coach there. And there's some things going on. You know, we heard a few months ago, we talked about a few so-called sexual harassment charges going up during that time when Les Miles was at the University of Kansas. University of Kansas has not responded to this particular situation. Ladies and gentlemen, this stuff happens for real in real life. I know some people are like, you gotta toughen up. You gotta toughen up. Yeah, you know, look, I think toughen up's one thing, but being abusive, harassment, and saying things and everything is not what you need to do. There's a way to roughhouse and be normal, but if it's so bad that they decided to pay his tuition and give him his monthly check of over $1,200, then it's got to be really bad. So we look deeper into this and find out what's going on. Les Miles was the coach at the time it happened, and he's a former LSU coach. This guy, his name is all over a bunch of mess, all over the SEC and so much in college football right now. Wow. So, you never know what and when and where and why something's going to happen and everything. So I believe people should step up for themselves and do what's right, but I also believe that we need to find out deeper into what's going on in this situation over at the University of Kansas, which they're a pretty good team in their division, but it seems like a lot of stuff's going on over there in Kansas. Dorothy doesn't want to be home anymore. She's going to stay in the Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. Well, actually, I don't want to go back home. I mean, it's kind of, dreary and not so great. And, yeah, I'm working on a farm. Yeah, okay, never mind. Let's stay in Oz. Oh, Lordy, 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 Lordy. All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we return here on the JC Sports Network News Hour, we'll close out with some more what you like to call sports extras.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, and even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Home Advisor.
Your favorite event is back. JCPenney's Mystery Sale. The best deals will be revealed this Thursday to Sunday. You could get an extra 30, 40, or even 50% off peel and reveal coupon during our in-store giveaway. Or shop jcp.com and get an extra 30% off coupon. It's the perfect time to save on what you need for back to school. So what are you waiting for? Hurry to find out how much you'll save. JCPenney. Offers valid 8/6 to 8/9. Giveaway in-store only while supplies last. Must be 18 or older. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
We are strong and we'll get through this together, but these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
That's right. Welcome back into the JC Sports Network News Hour, sponsored by the Columbus River Dragons, the United Sports Cup champions. Back in action this fall on the network, bringing all the exciting action of River Dragons hockey. They're going to hang up the flag. They're going to hang up and put out the cup as they welcome in their very first competitors. It's going to be a bigger season, more teams playing in the United Sports Cup, and can't wait for that myself. Also, the Columbus Chatahoots, name it, 5 of their players and their head coach to the All-Star game in Columbus tomorrow night between Florida and Georgia. We'll have that game for you starting at 6:35, pregame festivities right here on the network, and 7:05 will be the first pitch between Florida and Georgia. Go Georgia. Back in action this weekend, a 2-game series with the Atlanta Crackers, who have failed to number 2 in the Sun Belt over the Gainesville Braves yesterday, and they're going to be coming into town for a weekend full of fun, including wrestling Friday night. You heard me right, wrestling Friday night. So that's going to be happening. Let's see. That's pretty much it. McGregor finished with UFC, should move on, says an expert with the ESPN. McGregor says he's coming back. He just had his operation where he broke his ankle over the weekend. You saw that disgusting display of him backing off and turning the wrong way and breaking his ankle. He went into operations on Monday, and he is doing all right. He got on his Facebook page and said, "I'll be back." And, of course, he was pulling the WWE, And even if he doesn't go back to UFC, he still has a chance to get into wrestling because they have to watch what they do and everything in wrestling. Could he head to WWE like he's been wanting to do, or will AEW try to get him? We'll see. Or will Dana White say, he'll be back. He'll be back. Don't worry. He'll be back. We'll see how that goes. Also tonight is the All-Star game between the American League and the National League on Fox. 7 o'clock, I think there's their pre-game. 7:30 will be the first pitch as the American League takes on the National League at Coors Field in Colorado. Of course, Denver that is. It was set to be right here in the metro Atlanta area at Truett Field until supposedly a law that was passed here in Georgia got in the way of the Major League Baseball's ability to bring in the American League and the National League, which cost a lot of people money that were around the stadium as well as people that were working within the stadium and everything. Now, some people out there feel like it was wrong for them to move it over to Denver, and some people feel like it was right for them to do that. So whichever side you're on, that's fine. Because it's America, we have the right to do that. We're going to talk about COVID-19 here in just a few. It's going to be a Twisted Tuesday, but ladies and gentlemen, this Delta variant is here. It's back, and it is going to be not quite as worse, but I think we're going to round 2 in 21-21. Some countries are shut down and on lockdown. I hope we don't get there. Hope nothing like that happens in America, but it may. Stay with us because this is the JC Sports Network News Hour. It's been sponsored by the Columbus River Dragons Chattahoochee. And remember, my time is up. Well, that's because I'm on the radio. Yeah, I'm the franchise. John, it's just because I'm on the radio. Stay with us, the JC Sports Network News Hour. All you sports nuts out there, keep swinging for the fences. And the Rhino Radio Mornings is up right after this.
This is automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid. I'm hard as nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid your boy, hold weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop your whole clan. Lay your ass down for the 3-second tan. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now.
New York Mets slugger Pete Alonso defended his crown. He hit 23 home runs in the final round to beat Orioles slugger Trey Mancini to claim back-to-back home run derby titles after winning in 2019. Here's Alonso after the win.
Being able to showcase that and really put on a fun display for fans, I just think that it's truly a dream come true for me.
Alonso hit a whopping 35 home runs in the opening round and dispatched of Kansas City's Salvador Perez. In the second round, he worked his way past Washington's Juan Soto, who had beaten the Angels' Shohei Ohtani in the first round swing-off. The U.S. Olympic men's basketball team has lost back-to-back exhibition games for the first time since pros joined the roster in 1992. Australia upset the Americans 91-83 Monday in Las Vegas to get the team off to an 0-2 start. They lost to Nigeria over the weekend. That's sports. I'm Seth Everett.
WQE 99.1 FM Noonan. WBRQ LaGrange. WZEV 90.5 FM Lineville. JC Sports Networks.
NBC News Radio, I'm Mark Mayfield. President Biden says the U.S. stands with the people of Cuba after protests broke out in the streets over the weekend.
Cuban people demanding their freedom from an authoritarian regime.
Speaking at the White House, Biden called the protests remarkable. He called on the government to refrain from violence in their attempt to silence the voices of the people of Cuba. Texas Democrats are planning to stay in D.C. until a special session ends on August the 6th. More than 50 of them walked out and flew to the nation's capital last night. They left so the State House wouldn't have enough members to continue when it reconvenes this morning. The Democrats want to stop Republicans from trying to pass a controversial election bill. Governor Greg Abbott says the move inflicts harm on every voter who elected them. The Pentagon's top spokesperson says the Taliban believe they can win the war in Afghanistan militarily. Brian Shook reports.
At Monday's briefing, John Kirby said it's clear the Taliban is planning to govern on a national scale. He made the remarks on the same day General Scott Miller handed over command in Afghanistan to General Frank McKenzie. It will be McKenzie's job to wrap up the U.S. troop withdrawal. That's expected to happen by the end of August. I'm Brian Shook.
The World Health Organization says the COVID Delta variant is ripping around the world at a scorching pace. The chief scientist points out people who are fully vaccinated are still getting infected. But the good news is most of those cases are mild or have no symptoms. She says that's because the vaccine is protecting against severe illness and death. But in places with low vaccination rates and high Delta cases, hospitalizations are on the rise. And more families are getting closure in the Florida condo collapse. 4 victims were recovered yesterday, raising the death toll to 94. That leaves 22 people still missing. Crews beginning their 20th day of searching. They expect to be done in 2 to 3 weeks. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Summertime weather pattern will hold in place for many parts of the country through midweek. The active pattern of primarily afternoon and evening intense thunderstorms will continue for a good part of the Northeast, across Florida, and across the northern plains and the upper Midwest. New York and southern New England will again see multiple rounds of heavy thunderstorms and flooding, a continued concern for that part of the nation. The Southwest will see monsoon-like downpours today across the Four Corners region, as well as into southern Arizona and southern New Mexico. Many areas in the Southwest will see slow-moving storms that can lead to flash flooding for canyons and across burn scars. The intense heat in the Southwest starting to show some signs of abating. Still, though, above average temperatures will be found today in California and the Great Basin. That's your national weather forecast. Mike Ellis, NBC News Radio.
It's the penultimate week of baseball at Golden Park. It starts up on Wednesday. The Sun Belt League All-Star Game will be held right here in Columbus. The Sun Belt Baseball League All-Stars against the Florida Collegiate Summer League All-Stars. See the best of what these leagues have to offer right here in your own backyard. Then this weekend, the Atlanta Crackers are in town. Friday night, see a professional wrestling show before the game at 7:05, and Saturday is Phil the Nest night at 6:05. We'll see you at Golden Park this weekend.
Hey, I'm Jimmy Ellis, and I'm the pastor here at Noonan City Church. I want to thank you for tuning in to our website, and hope that you'll take the time to look throughout the website, all the different activities that are going on in the life of our church. Our purpose statement here at Noonan City is transforming lives for Jesus' sake, and we believe that takes place in 3 separate pillars. The first one is corporate worship, and we come together each Sunday for our worship services where our focus is on glorifying God. That is the purpose, the focus of our worship services each Sunday. The second pillar is local missions, and we believe that church is not to be contained inside the walls of a building, but rather outside those walls. And we look for opportunities, and we have different partners in the community where we partner with other kingdom-minded ministries that are doing kingdom work. And so encouraging our individuals here at the church to be the hands and feet of Jesus outside the walls of our congregation. So that's the second pillar. And the third pillar is our community groups, our small groups where we meet in homes throughout the community here in Noonan. And the focus of these groups is simply Bible study. It's sitting in the circle, opening up the scriptures, and asking the Holy Spirit to speak to us and through us as we study God's Word. So those are the 3 pillars, and we believe when you do those 3 things that there's a transformation that takes place.
On behalf of everyone here at Winners Media, yes, that means you too, Taku. As we grow, we want to help you grow as well. Whether you're a small business, a nonprofit, or just a mom and pop store, it's time to review your marketing and advertising. We offer the highest read and circulated print publications in the area, as well as provide social media expertise from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram. Just check us out at winnersmedia.net and let us help you realize your dreams. Right, Taku?
Hey, you should move over. Red right return.
Right, red right return.
No, just red right return because
No, I'm saying red right return, but then right to agree.
Okay, but you're on the...
I should have said correct. I know it's red right return, but...
You're on the left and it's red right return. Red right return.
The tides can turn quick on the water. Progressive has you covered as a leader in boat insurance. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
Oh, I was on the left. Right.
Please stop talking.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Hey, Mom and Dad, you want to teach your child biblical values that will last a lifetime? Why don't you check out the best-selling Adventure Bible? It's the #1 Bible for kids, allowing them to take an exciting journey through each chapter with full-color illustrations, memory verses, hands-on activities, and more. The Adventure Bible is now available in 4 translations. It's the perfect Bible to encourage your children to stay in Scripture. Do you know at AdventureBible.com you'll find over 700 free games, activities, teaching resources, and more. Visit AdventureBible.com today.
All right, we're going to do it once more. And this time, no mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
When the band began to play, the stars were shining bright.
But now the milkman's on his way. It's too late to say goodnight.
So say good morning.
Good morning. Sunbeams will still smile.
Good morning to you.
Nothing could be grander than to be in Louisiana in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were still going.
You've been around long enough to know good stuff when you hear it. That's why you're here now. Classic Hits, WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key.
Just in case you've forgotten, let me tell you just to know who the hell I am. I am the game. Watch your tongue or have it go.
Welcome back into Rhino Radio Mornings for the Twisted Tuesday edition. 7,000 plus of you on the Shout Out Loud World of Friends Radio Network right there with our fantastic friends in Aloha, Hawaii. Also, we're on the Earth Rock Radio in New Mexico and the Navajo Nation. All over the JC Sports Networks at WDWZ, Talk Andalusia, Alabama, WBRQ LaGrange, WZV, 90.5 FM, Langeville, Alabama, and right here at the home of the Walking Dead in Metro Atlanta area of Noonan, WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key. It's a Twisted Tuesday edition of the Rhino Radio Mornings. We got a lot in store for you. We kick it off with the daily devotion. But to my haters first, listen up. This is what I have to say to you. This is for all my haters out there, as the kids would say. I got this to say to you.
Whether anybody likes it or not, I'm the man around here.
Whether they like it or not, I am the man around here, and you are not going to tell the man he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is a down-the-middle, independent, straight-edge, skeptic show, which gives you the real deal instead of following the clickbait BS you got on the internet or anything that you watch on national TV because they make multi-millions. And nothing against people making multi-millions, and nothing against the government having to do what they got to do if a lot of those people are doing illegal stuff. Until you look in the mirror and look at yourself and realize that some of the things you do out there is wrong, it's time to stop trying to blame people above us and everything. And I heard a person say on the internet that rich people don't stay rich because they help give away money. So that's something that has been said by someone, and this is coming straight out of someone's mouth. And I'm not bringing that down. I'm just bringing that up as until we realize as a society we need to look in the mirror for our own selves instead of blaming everybody else for everything. And so when we start looking at what we've done, that's the thing. We blame all the politicians on both sides because we don't like don't like their policies. If you don't like Republican policies, don't like them. If you don't like Democratic policies, don't like them. Don't blame everybody. Don't say people are evil because people are not evil. Either we're all evil or we're all good. I think we got a little bit of both in us. So, just because people disagree with you, look, I disagree with a lot of people do a lot of things, but that don't mean that they think they're bad people for doing it. They might think going out in the woods and making moonshine, ladies and gentlemen, and selling it just because it's illegal is all right. Or betting on the races when you don't. Well, if you live in Vegas, that's fine. But if you don't live in Vegas, you live somewhere else. Betting on the games and everything going gambling, that's all right, as long as we got the money to do that. Or, hey, I run around with whoever I want to run around with because that's how I was taught. It's fine, you know. Just how people are, man. And there's some people out there that think that killing people in the streets are all right. They think they're killing because you got to be bad if you kill somebody in the streets. They got to be bad. They got to deserve it if they're running up the street, taking a hammer off of supposedly taking a hammer off of a construction site. Yeah, they deserve to be shot. You know, you got people who have different points of view there. So stop with the clickbait BS. I'm tired of it. I see it. I'm sick of it. Facebook is sickening. It really is. It's sickening how many people fall for all the stuff on there. It really is. It really is. But we're going to talk about coronavirus, the real deal, the new Delta variant. A lot of countries are in lockdown right now. America's kind of like ignoring it, like, oh, you know, that's not happening. It's kind of like if your kids are out doing something wrong, you're ignoring that they're out doing something wrong, but you're sure watching everybody else going, they're bad. They're doing bad. They're bad. My kids are not doing bad. Oh, is that a severed head you got right there? Oh, darling, you're so sweet. Oh, is that the neighbor? Oh, she shouldn't have pissed you off. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're ignoring the Delta variant like it's not a real deal, and it has not been here, and it has been. And I don't know if we're gonna get this round 2 or not. I got a feeling we are. If we didn't learn anything from if you didn't learn anything from last year, you're gonna have to learn this year, I guess. Let's jump into a little daily devotion sponsored by Jesus Calling to Joy and Peace in His Presence, 365 Daily Devotion by Sarah Young, and also how do you say it? The Noonan City Church at 17 First Avenue here in Noonan. All right. Here's the day. Sarah's bringing together Ephesians 2:7-8, Hebrews 3:1, and Psalms 34:5. I want you to experience the riches of your salvation, the joy of being loved constantly and perfectly. You make a practice of judging yourself based on how you look or believe or behave or feel. If you like what you see in the mirror, you feel a bit more worthy of my love. When things are going smoothly and your performance seems very well, you find it easier to believe in you are my beloved child. When you feel discouraged, you tend to look inward to correct whatever is wrong. Instead of trying to fix yourself, fix your glance at me, the lover of your soul. Rather than using your energy to judge yourself, redirect it to praising me. Remember, I see you clothed in my righteousness and my perfect love. Ephesians 2:7-8, Hebrews 3:1, and Psalms 34:5. That's today's daily devotion, sponsored by Jesus Calling and Joy and Peace in His Presence, a 365 daily devotion by Sarah Young and the Noonan City Church at 17 First Avenue here in Noonan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into this Twisted Tuesday edition of the Rhino Radio Mornings. Good morning to Gail and the Zoo crew there. A lot of people are jumping in on board. And they're jumping on board everywhere, so I'm just going to say hello to all you guys and hope you're having a great morning. Let's go ahead and get kicked off here with a few newsworthy notes, ladies and gentlemen, and the coronavirus is the main thing. You heard in the news earlier that the COVID-19 spread of the new variant is very, very real. Now, we're not going to believe that in America. We seem to be ignoring it because we want to get back out there and do what we, and I don't mean the people that want to go back to work. Okay, I'm not, all of us that are working and wanting to go back to work and do what we have to do, be a part of it. This doesn't count us because, going to work is fine. That's fine. It won't take care of your bills. That's fine. That's normal. But ignoring this virus, see, it's not a political thing. It wasn't a political thing for either side of the aisle. It was a real deal. And more than 11,000 new COVID-19 cases in Malaysia. Third record in less than a week. Malaysia government contracts doctors frustrated over the lack of job security because of the COVID-19 drags out. more than 200 workers at a vaccination center in Malaysia tested positive for the COVID-19. People were testing positive even with just getting the vaccinations. Vietnam to mix a dose of Pfizer with a couple of other ones, COVID-19, so they can give more out. Thailand defends the COVID-19 vaccinations mix and match after the WHO warning that. Indonesia reports a record daily increase in COVID-19 infections, orders oxygen supplies. Oh my God, this is getting bad again. Sydney's COVID-19 cases ease, but lockdown extensions still are on the cards. Wow. There you go. And Germany is under lockdown, getting more shots. Americans who have been fully vaccinated do not need a booster shot, the U.S. officials say. So there's going to be booster shots. They're going to be trying to do all this. The U.S. FDA updates warning label for Johnson & Johnson, and I want to tell you about that right quick. There's a new disorder that's coming up for it. Let me see if I can find that in my news. FDA announced a new warning for Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccination on its over its association with the increase in risk of autoimmune disorder, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to be a part of it as well. So wow. So taking the vaccination, some people are like, hey, I don't want to take the vaccination. Now you see why some people are not able to take vaccination. It's causing certain things. Seoul, South Korea has, under heightened restrictions of COVID-19 cases spread, over 1,000 cases have just arose and the next day and the day or so. Highly contagious Delta variant keep officials on edge. They are back to strict social distancing rules. A couple of people can go to dinner. Not very many people are allowed to be in restaurants. A lot of these countries are doing this. Britain's doing it, England, India, and we're like, well, maybe, no. I can understand if I'm hearing just the smaller countries that we know, hell, they don't even get good 5G there or whatever, that they're third world countries. Then we can understand the spread of this being a major deal. But when you have India, China, which some of you like, some of you don't like, but India, China, England, parts of Russia, this thing is happening all over, and we're sitting here in America just going, no, it's not real. It's not real. We got our booster shots. We got our vaccinations. We're good. Oh, I'm still testing positive for COVID-19. It might not make me as sick, but I'm good. The economy is not where it needs to be again. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be one of the people who go, well, let's blame the last administration or let's blame this administration, because if a virus like this Delta variant, COVID-19, hits us again and shuts us down, our economy is still struggling from when it was shut down for a full year last year. We're still trying to get it back up and going. If it happens again, there's going to be some places like, hey, there's going to be restrictions. And it's going to happen. I don't know when and where or how, but it's going to happen. I mean, and this stuff is real. It's not fake. And the vaccinations are like any other vaccination. So if you have the flu shot and you're allergic to the flu, or it might make you catch flu or get sick, this could make you sick on this. And Johnson & Johnson now has the USA FDA is warning on labels on Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccinations about a rare disorder, which is, wow. All this is happening. And we need to just start saying, all right, let's start doing our social distancing again. Let's start wearing our mask again. Let's start doing our stuff ourselves. When we go into restaurants, be respectful. And let's start being respectful to everybody. Some restaurants are still wearing their masks. Some people are still wearing their masks, which is good. I think it's good for other reasons. I think it's good for just protecting your food when it's handed to you from that person that might be waiting on you. They could be sick with a thing called a common cold or a flu or anything else they could have, like called normal. This is we're taking away the COVID-19. Wow, good idea of wearing a mask when you're working. You pull it down so you can breathe. You put it back on when you're waiting tables, taking out there and there. I think it's a great idea, and it makes it more safe in more ways than one. Because when doctors operate on you, they wear all kind of protection to protect themselves from whatever might be in your body and protect you from whatever might come in from there. They sterilize their equipment and everything. So there's all kind of good reasons to have this. Not just, they want me to mask because they want to control me. No. Forget the whole COVID-19, which it's going to be kind of hard doing with this new Delta variant, ladies and gentlemen. But it's a good idea. I don't have a problem with them doing that. And I think we need to kind of, if we want to keep this from spreading so we can keep going to concerts, keep going to sporting events, let wrestling come back, let sporting events come back, let concerts come back. I want all this stuff to happen, okay? So as we continue to go out there and be amongst each other for events and everything, let's take safety precautions so that we can keep those events going while other countries are on lockdown. We can still be not on lockdown, and we can still make our money in the United States. And nothing again, I'm not talking against any other country because I have a lot of listeners from around the world. I'm just saying that with it being very low here in the United States, maybe it's going to start hitting very hard. People are still testing positive whether they had the vaccination or not. It's just that they're saying if they have the vaccination, there could be a possibility that, quote, it may not hit you as hard and everything. So, but looking at this CNA and the China News Asian, they're giving the correct everything, ladies and gentlemen, from around the world. Thailand approves a self-test for self-isolation as COVID-19 cases climb in Thailand. South Korea's new COVID-19 cases have risen. For the seventh straight... top 1,000 for the seventh straight day. Japan to provide millions more COVID vaccination doses to Taiwan, Asian neighbors as well, to try to help them out a little bit. I'm seeing cases going up all around the world. So we've got to know the truth, man, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to keep the truth. Hey, good day to you as well, Jessica and Gail. How you doing this morning as well? And Melanie, we'll appreciate you being on with us. Good morning to those fantastic people. We're getting ready to take another break here on our first break here on the Rhino Radio Mornings. Let's see, one more note. Oh yeah, conservative talk show host Larry Elder, who is actually on, I think, the SRN networks and has his own business and show, has announced that he's running for the governor's spot in California, the recall in September recall election. Elder released a video Monday to announce his run for the governor's seat as a Republican representative. You know that Caitlyn Jenner already said that she was going to run as a Republican representative as well. Well, Governor Newsom has not made fans of very many people, including those in his own party, that supported him, Democrats in California, with a complete shutdown. California was shut down. Now, they would have not had a problem with that if they had been told that they couldn't get out to go to a restaurant or a birthday party or a funeral or even church, when Governor Newsom was getting out and doing all of that and even more. So I think that Newsom's not going to have a chance to run for president in a few years. I don't think he would have a chance at all. I think if you're going to have anybody as a Democratic representative in a couple of years, it's going to be Cuomo in New York. Even though he has some ups and downs about marks beside his name, he's got more support from the Democrats in New York than Governor Newsom has from the Democrats in California right now. So, wow. And I don't know. It could be Larry Elder could get the recall in that. And if Newsom keeps it, then I'll be surprised. I'll be really, really surprised. So there you go. Coming up in a few moments, we're going to talk about a copy of a 1996 Super Mario Brothers 64. Also, local heroes and country music artist Zac Brown Band are back. We'll talk about them. Workers in Brazil couldn't believe their eyes when they discovered something that seemed familiar to them. We're going to talk about a couple of things found with Jesus. That's right. Pretty cool, some things there. And what's up with Martin Lawrence's daughter and Eddie Murphy's son? We'll tell you what's up with the two in just a few. So stay with us right here on the Rhino Radio Mornings on this Twisted Tuesday. You didn't hear me? It's time to stay right there. More on the way as the Rhino Radio Mornings cruises on. We'll get Gamma Ray back tomorrow. Gamma Ray's weather forecast came through and did not come all the way through completely properly. We'll get that back to you. But stay tuned. We got a regular forecast to get us throughout the day. Currently it's 70 degrees in the metro Atlanta area, about 60% chance of showers for this Tuesday for the metro Atlanta area. What's going on in your neck of the woods? I'm glad you asked. You want to know what's going on? Here's what's up from NBC Weather.
Summertime weather pattern will hold in place for many parts of the country through midweek. The active pattern of primarily afternoon and evening intense thunderstorms will continue for a good part of the Northeast, across Florida, and across the northern plains and the upper Midwest. New York and southern New England will again see multiple rounds of heavy thunderstorms and flooding, a continued concern for that part of the nation. The Southwest will see monsoon-like downpours today across the Four Corners region, as well as into southern Arizona and southern New Mexico. Many areas in the Southwest will see slow-moving storms that can lead to flash flooding for canyons and across burn scars. The intense heat in the Southwest starting to show some signs of abating. Still, though, above average temperatures will be found today in California and the Great Basin. That's your national weather forecast. Mike Ellis, NBC News Radio.
Hey, you should move over. Red, right, return.
Right, red, right, return.
No, just red, right, return because
No, I'm saying red, right, return, but then right to agree.
Okay, but you're on the...
I should have said correct. I know it's red, right, return, but...
You're on the left and it's red, right, return. Red, right, return.
The tides can turn quick on the water. Progressive has you covered as a leader in boat insurance. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
Oh, I was on the left. Right.
Please stop talking.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, and even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Home Advisor. It is one of the most influential stories of all time that gave us literature's greatest villain. For 100 years, we thought his story ended there. But now, he returns. Dracula, the Undead. From Bram Stoker's direct descendant, Dacre Stoker, and Dracula historian Ian Holt, comes the heart-stopping sequel to the original classic. Based on Bram Stoker's own handwritten notes and extensive research. Dracula, the Undead. On October 13th, 2009. The legend lives.
Wishbone Fried Chicken, 32 Jefferson Street, Noonan. The best fried chicken around. Tri-Taters, calling desserts. Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. 770-253-7061. The best chicken around. Wishbone Fried Chicken in downtown Noonan.
It's the penultimate week of baseball at Golden Park. It starts up on Wednesday. The Sun Belt League All-Star Game will be held right here in Columbus. The Sun Belt Baseball League All-Stars against the Florida Collegiate Summer League All-Stars. See the best of what these leagues have to offer right here in your own backyard. Then this weekend, the Atlanta Crackers are in town. Friday night, see a professional wrestling show before the game at 7:05. And Saturday is Phil the Nest night at 6:05. We'll see you at Golden Park this weekend.
I am Apostle Deborah Harris, Pastor Apostle of Kingdom Connected Ministries International at 121 Hillwood Circle, Noonan, Georgia. Presenting Connecting the Kingdom. Connecting kingdom citizens, kingdom businesses, and advancing the kingdom of God in this hour. Join us each Tuesday at 10 o'clock a.m. with guests who are sharing their faith, business, and ministry.
When I wake up in the morning and the morning's unwanted, I don't think I'll ever make it on time. By the time I got my boots.
Welcome back into the Rhino Radio Mornings. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. If I don't say again, a big good night. It's Rhino Radio Mornings. Thank you for giving a blow on there. Thank you very much. It's Rhino Radio Mornings, and we hope you're having a fantastic day thus far. Let's jump right back into it. Got a little entertainment news for you. Dave Mustaine for the band Megadeth, of course, is now addressing the there's no chance in hell that Dave Jr. is going to rejoin the Megadeth. Of course, David Ellefson has his own coffee, has his own everything, was a founding member of Megadeth many, many years ago, but seemed to be got in trouble because he got caught, being videoed by a female fan that was 19 or 20 and, doing something. Mr. Happy was doing something. Mustaine addressed the possibility of his longtime bandmate returning to Megadeth while filming a new video message on Cameo, which let users hire celebrities to record brief personal video messages about various topics, because they got to make the money somehow, right? If Dave could once again play... Hey, what happened? Where did this go? There you go. If Dave once again could play with the band. Well, Dave could once again play with Megadeth at some point down the line, and Mustaine said, any chance on David coming back later on? The answer to that is no. David laid down some bass tracks on Megadeth's 16th LP in May of 2020 at a studio in Nashville, Tennessee. A short time later, he raved about his performance on the record, telling a local radio station there in his area on a program called Wired in the Empire that his musical chemistry with Megadeth drummer Dirk Vanderburn was comparable to interplay between Geddy Lee and Neil Peart in the classic Rush albums. And he said, I feel like on the new Megadeth record, me and Dirk have the same moments. It's Megadeth. It's not Rush, obviously, but in a field of what we're doing, there were these moments that I was just like going, oh my God, this is me as a kid going, this is my Geddy Neil moment right here. Wow. Last month, Mustaine from Megadeth announced during an episode of Gimme Radio that on the Dave Mustaine show that David's bass tracks would not be used on the Megadeth LP. He has since revealed that a mystery bass player has already re-recorded those parts, and the album is going to be due out at the end of the year. David was dismissed from the Megadeth in late May, just days after sexual messages and a video featuring involving the bass player were posted on Twitter. The longtime Megadeth member was later released a statement on Instagram denying all social media chatter that he groomed an underage fan. He also filed a report with the police department in Scottsdale, Arizona, allegedly unlawful distribution of sexual conduct and images of him by unknown offenders. In the report, he also admitted that he had been exchanging sexual text messages with a Dutch teenager who captured a video of several of their virtual encounters without his consent and shared them with friends. So that's what's going on. 56-year-old Dave Jr., who lives in Scottsdale, first became aware of the video on May 9th when he claimed that when it was claimed that he was a pedophile and appeared on Instagram. David told police he was notified on May 14th by Megadeth that the band would be parting ways with him. 3 days later, he was fired. Wow. So, there you go. Some people are taking offense to him being fired. Fans out there are. They're taking offense to him being fired because they're saying, well, all the world stuff am doing it, and this, that, and the other. This is what rock stars always did. They always went after young girls. Yeah, back in the day, these rock stars, all wannabe rock stars when they were 22 years old, go after 15 and 16-year-old girls, groom them. And they groom them so much that when they're adults, they go running back to them at times because they groomed them to get, knowing that they're devils and destructive. Look, I've been in this business for a long time. Everybody does not do that. And I hate to tell you this. I know this is going to blow your mind about country singers and rock singers and hip-hop stars and everything. Everybody does not get involved in this underage BS. Okay? It's a world just like any other world. It's a job like any other job. It's like you sitting at your desk at a call center. You might be a proper family person, and somebody next to you might have a different lifestyle, but then there might be somebody in there that's a pervert. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that works at your job is not the same. So everybody in the music business is not the same. Everybody in the broadcast business is not the same. Everybody in the entertainment business is not the same. It's just that, well, if you're famous, you can groom. Well, and look, I don't know if he did or didn't. I'm not going to get into that, but Dave Mustaine did what was best for his band. A multi-million-dollar corporation, probably even more than that. We'll just say $1 million corporation that employs more than just the members that are out there on stage playing, but employs people backstage, management, record people, everything. There's people that drive the trucks, people that drive the buses. There's so many people that's employed by this company, and the kind of damage that Junior could have brought with his name and the things that they're looking into, even if they find out it is true that he wasn't doing this and everything, still, what he did could do a damage to the corporation. Do you think Target or Walmart would let a CEO stay on if they were? No, they would fire them, even if it's a founding member. Look at the founding member of Papa John's. He was ousted, guys, because of some racial terminology I think he used. He was ousted by his own company a few years back. He was paid off. Now, people are like, hey, that's taking away from your freedoms. No. I don't believe in that people's freedoms are being taken away and all this kind of stuff because people can't say things they want to say. I think people say everything they want to say out there. I've never not heard people not say what they wanted to say. And it's about losing that money. That's what it's about. It's about that money. Let me tell you, whether you like it or not, when it comes down to business and money, if a business is making a certain amount of money and one of their founding members of whatever this business has done something that's going to probably make the business look terrible or detract from what the business is trying to accomplish, then guess what? They're going to have to release that founding member. They took him off the tracks of the new album. That doesn't mean the other stuff that Dave has been on, Junior's been on, that he doesn't get paid for. He still gets paid for it. He probably got paid out of his contract. He's probably get paid a certain amount of money to move away from Megadeth and to take his name away from Megadeth. The same way Papa John himself was paid to move away from Papa John's. Corporate mindset is what all this is. Just like, everybody's sitting around saying, well, the mainstream, the social media getting rid of the former president. Well, the whole time the former president was on there, when he was on there, he said a lot of things that some people agree with and some people didn't agree with, but it was keeping Facebook, Twitter, Google, all that was getting the numbers that they wanted. But then when people started saying they wanted to pull money out, because let me tell you what, this is what it's all about. It was about pulling money out. It was like, okay, January 6th, what happened? Some people are going to say mostly peaceful protests. That's the same way of saying it's mostly people protest when you burn down a city. No, it's not. The peaceful protests are gone. Those people are no longer attached to whatever had happened. All right, whatever happened January 6th, whatever side you're on, whatever, but the main CEOs, people with money saw, hey, this don't look good. This is not good. We're going to have to pull our money from this. And look, social media, that's the only reason they decided to let him go. It was a business decision. If no one had pulled their money, said, hey, Facebook, we're going to pull all this money out here if you don't get rid of him. If they wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have cared. Look how long. They said they were just suspending him while Twitter banned him, remember? And we're not going to get into what was said or done, whatever. I'm just telling you, explaining to you, all these people who are just like, it's wrong that people are losing things. Don't do something wrong and you will not lose your business. You will not lose your voice. You will not lose your so-called voice. You will not. If you're going to be in a band like Megadeth, and you know that you employ a number of people under you, and he was a founding member of this band, he's a multi-millionaire. If he wanted to run off with somebody and cheat on his wife, because some of them rock stars do that, he should have found somebody old enough to, and shouldn't have did it online. Should have known that someone was going to do everything that goes online, and people are going to do that. The bigger you get, they're going to do that. Okay, of course he's going to sue. He's going to get all this material back, whatever. So for anybody that's trying to come down on Mr. Mustang, Dave, for his basically firing of Dave, and basically in a way firing him, and there's more to it. You don't know what they bought his contract out. They got rid of him. They retract the bass parts with a new bass player because they're trying to distance themselves from this. It's the same thing as if Walmart had their top CEOs and if they had all their founding members were still alive, and one of the founding members decided I'm going to go over here and hang out with an 18-year-old girl, and I'm going to video myself doing this act of us, between us doing this. Same thing as sitting around watching OnlyFans pages or whatever. You know what's going to happen? It's bad. It's bad. So for anybody out there that's just got that mindset that I'm just not going to support Megadeth because they kicked him out, because people do that. That lets me know that you must be doing something you shouldn't be doing, because I don't think chasing a little girl is proper. But I mean, that's his opinion. If he's a 54-year-old man and wants to hang out with a 20-year-old girl and she wants to hang out with, she's old enough, that's fine. So yeah, if they want to do things, that's fine. That's their business. But when it comes to his business that he was making, and with his other three partners, really and truly, his other partner, Dave Mustaine, him are the CEO and the COO of Megadeth, and they have many people that depend on them for a livelihood. Mustaine had to do what he had to do. He had to do what he had to do, ladies and gentlemen. When it gets to that level, it's not like they're just some band out here in the club playing and getting paid a beer and a couple of dollars to play their show, and people and 15 or 20 people show up to support them and buy their records and CDs and stuff and their T-shirts or whatever they sell out there now, because it all changes. It's a whole different concept. It becomes a business. So there you go. Speaking of another business, local heroes, country music artist Zach Brown Band are back with new music. The country music band released 2 new songs, Old Love Song and Out in the Middle. And both songs are awesome. I listened to them myself. And I'm not, they rock pretty much. So you need to go check them out. And it was also, Zach wrote these with Luke Combs, was one of the songwriters with these 2 songs, along with a couple other Nashville known songwriters. The comeback tour is going to start in August, and we'll let you know about that, as Zach Brown is a local guy around the corner out of Fayetteville and everything. And what's up? What's up? I can't do Martin Lawrence's thing. But comedian Martin Lawrence, from the show Martin and many other Bad Boys and Everything's daughter Jasmine and Eddie Murphy, Mr. Raw himself, son Eric, are dating now. Lawrence, 25, confirmed her relationship with Murphy, 32, while her birthday party was going on this past weekend on Instagram. Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy have starred in a couple of movies together. Back in 1992, they did Boomerang. In 1999, they did the movie Life. Both actors have new movies out in the last couple of years, and their son and Murphy's son and Martin Lawrence's daughter are now dating. Hopefully, we'll see if they'll end up getting married and having children. Oh, that's a little too fast. Grandpa Martin, well, Eddie's already a grandpa, but Martin Lawrence,